Hello, welcome to Swiss Watchmaking. You know that my job is to discover watch brands that you don't know yet. And today we'll do something exactly in this beautiful domain. I'm here with Sebastien.
Hi Marco,
Good to see you. Huh?
very happy to be here with you.
Thank you for coming. We met 2 years ago, three?
Two
2 years ago
absolutely.
in a restaurant with our friend Daniel. Shout out Daniel. And you showed me your creation or what you have planned in the future. You showed me the designs, the ideas, the inspiration, and I'm happy to see it in person. It's called Mermont. So why did you decide to launch a watch brand, and tell us something about yourself?
The idea for Mermont was really about what you already saw on the watch, making the best possible philosopher's watch, meaning one hand to read the time, simply because, and the whole reason for this concept is modern life is very stressful. Watchmaking is always pushing you for performance. Could be drive faster with your Daytona, could be dive deeper with your Submariner, fly to the moon with your Speedmaster, whatever you invent. But and that's very good, that's very nice, but there's also a moment where you just want to relax and enjoy the moment. And that's where one hand philosopher's watch will come in the picture. Why it's called philosopher's watch is because with one hand, you don't have a constant reminder that your time is running away. There's no movement on your dial, so it feels like you're fully present in the moment. That's why we launched Mermont at first, trying to really do the best possible philosopher's watch.
Yeah, I think you succeeded. We'll go through all the aspects of the watch as well, but you gave me the chance to wear the watch for a week, and I took it, all over Zurich and Switzerland as well. And it was nice because, like you said, there was nothing moving on the watch. Although I'm a very mechanical guy, I love something moving on the dial, but also it's nice to have a watch which just is a bit more chill, in a way. So the concept of a one-hand watch isn't new. One of the most famous watches, I think, is the Breguet subscription. But tell me, what was your inspiration?
No, you're right. And of course, the Breguet subscription was the first one-hand watch. But the funny part, it wasn't sold as a philosopher's watch initially. You know why Breguet, Abraham Louis, made a one-hand subscription watch initially?
To launch the business, to expand.
That was a way to cut costs.
Yeah, exactly.
Because every component part at that time in the 18th century were made by hand. Remove a hand, you remove a few wheels, a few parts of the mechanism,
Sure.
and you make your watch more affordable. Actually, philosopher's watches have been produced by AP. If you know, from the early, I think, 80s, there was a watch called AP Philosophique. Vacheron has made a unique piece, which is absolutely one of my dream watch. The Philosophia, single hand, moon phase, minute repeater tourbillon, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, sick.
But that was a cabinotier, so they made only one.
Yeah.
Very famous and clearly one inspiration for us, Shimoda. Peter Spickmarin, when he was behind his brand, making his own watches. A lot of people would think, oh, there's no minute hand.
Yeah.
Actually, there is. It's just the same as the hour hand.
Exactly.
So you read it digitally as a sequence.
And you didn't start this alone. You sought help from one of the best in the business. And I honestly think one of the last independent watchmakers who is still somehow not blown up, in terms of popularity, although his work is very good. So who did you seek out help from?
The creation of Mermont is really a story of meeting friends and meeting friends of friends. I'm super happy talking to you tonight, but I'm just one small part of the whole adventure. I've been working in industrial product development and supply chain for the last 20 years. My job is to find the right partner to land cool projects, make things happen. So first of all, I want to mention Marie Singh, my co-founder. Marie has been instrumental. She's running basically the company. She's letting me focus on creating the watch, but everything else, she's driving it. Then once we established a company with Marie, first of all, we spoke with a few people in the industry. Bart, for example, from Colloquium, Bart Nussbaumer, a very good designer, introduced me to Diego Bodger. Diego fell in love with the project. He spent years at Jacques Hedreau. He has a long experience in the industry. And Diego agreed to become the designer for Mermont. So Diego, from our initial concept, came up with this final aesthetic that I will explain a bit later. And then it was very important for me as a collector to bring a lot of craftsmanship and authenticity in a watch, kind of making an independent a bit more accessible, or at least give a taste for independent watchmaking. And Diego introduced me to Mr. Nicolas Delalloy.
Yeah.
And that's the fantastic watchmaker you were mentioning. Nicolas is a member of the AHCI, Académie Horlogère des Créateurs Indépendants. He has his own brand, Delalloy Genève. He does amazing manufactured pieces with ultra high-end hand finish, absolutely beautiful movement. But the reason we started to really work with Nicolas is he spent almost 10 years at the Patek Museum, and he was restoring vintage pieces for the Patek Museum.
Yeah.
So he's not only a watchmaker who can finish and assemble a watch, he can actually create components.
Yeah, exactly.
He can work from scratch with all the traditional tools. He's more or less a one-man show. So when we say we partnered with Nicolas, what's amazing is that each Mermont that you see, those and each Mermont that will be produced are finished, assembled, regulated, quality controlled, serviced in the future by Nicolas himself at his bench in Geneva, not his interns.
That's a good stamp of approval. Huh?
It's a good stamp of approval. So I can tell you, the first time we met, I told him, Mr. Delalloy, you're like the 3-star Michelin chef. I would like to start a small brasserie next to you. You know, if you know brasserie, right?
Yeah.
Using much more simple ingredients, but using the skills of the chef.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh yeah, no, I like the idea. Let's do it together." So I'm very, very thankful for Nicolas and Diego, because without them, would not have happened.
Of course, yeah.
I have also to say, you know, a few words about everybody who supported the crazy projects in the beginning, you included, because we met 2 years ago in a restaurant. I had a sketch on an iPad. It was not a 3D rendering. It was
And
nothing.
I was scared, that, to be honest.
It was
how it will turn out.
Exactly. It was a 2D sketch on an iPad.
Yeah.
And here I have to thank, you know, all the collectors community, Alex, Luigi from Turicum Watch Group, for example, James from Collectors Fair, Mike from West United, and many, many others who saw the initial concept. And I was thinking, is it crazy to do a single hand platinum watch? And they were like, no, it's actually cool, you should do it. And you know, when you have to pull the trigger, go for the investment, pay the tooling, pay all, you know, everything except our movement is 100% custom for Mermont. So that's a lot of investment you have to do at first. The feedback was very, very positive. We also met, I want to mention Saeed and Ivan, who are doing a fantastic outer box for us from AIS Collective. You probably know Raphael Brenner, the very good photographer who's done all our shots, all our press images. You know, there's many, many persons who are either already friends or friends of friends who helped us make Mermont happen. So that's a very cool part of it. You know, there's nobody we work with that we don't have a good time when we.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
When we do.
So we have 2 different pieces here. What's the difference between the 2 dials?
So both pieces are identical except the dial. The first dial that you see here is our friends and family salmon dial. We made 18 pieces of those and they sold out in 3 days. It was absolutely amazing knowing that people would believe in it. And then this blue dial here is our launch edition. So we are producing 28 pieces of this in 26.
Yeah.
Once the 18 salmon and the 28 blue are gone, we fully discontinue the color. That's gone forever, but that's unique colors developed for Mermont. The dials are made using first a colimaçon, so a sunburst, that gives, you know, this very unique curved play of light. Yeah. Because I wanted to play with different time inspiration, and the very, very traditional way to do dials is sunburst, right? Every watch is in the 50s, 60s were sunburst. But this is actually a colimaçon. So the sunburst is curved, that's brushed. And then we apply 10 layers of zapon to get this unique blue. And then, of course, the indices, the white, and the branding. But the blue and the salmon are obtained by mixing pigments with a unique recipe developed for us. So we really want to keep the production low and give, you know, something that you would not see your friend wearing hopefully at the coffee machine on Monday morning. Exactly, yeah. And there's also a secret signature. There is a secret signature. Which is very cool, which on the salmon is visible, but when I was wearing the blue one, it was rarely visible. Huh? It's only visible in the right light, right angle, and the whole point wanted to keep the secret signature secret. I can tell you it's not engraved, because if it were engraved, you would always see it. Is it stamp? It's not stamped. It's a secret recipe for the secret signature. Okay, fair enough. Something we spent a bit of time to develop. But we are super happy of these dials. It's a nightmare to produce. I can
Yeah,
tell
I'm
you
sure.
the scrap rate
This is big, huh?
was not anticipated the way it is, but our partner, our dial maker in Geneva, they do a fantastic job.
It's not fun for the wallet, huh?
It's not fun because you know this. So probably there is a reason why nobody is doing curved sunburst on a dial.
Yeah,
It's usually done on movement finish,
Mm.
you know, for matte
Yeah.
spring covers.
exactly.
And when you do it on a larger diameter like that, you have, you know,
The quality control.
the tiniest scratch that goes wrong, then you have to throw the dial away.
And the most prominent aspect of your dial is, of course, the hand.
Yes.
How easy was it to make this hand?
Not that easy. But, you know, you do a single hand watch. So you have to make a very cool single hand.
This is it.
First of all, there is something very nice in single hand is you don't have the stake height constraints. You can make the hand that's the most voluminous, the thickest ever because you don't have to stack 2 or 3 hands on top of each other. So this hand is first carved out of mild steel. Then it's black polish for several hours by Nicola. He's using diamond paste and wood and all the kind of traditional techniques to get to this absolute, I would say, perfect black polish on the top, on the side, inside the opening. There's no plating, there's no surface coating beside just
polishing.
black polish magic.
Yeah.
So the hand is in 2 pieces. Actually, you see there is a central capuchon because I hate when you see you look at your watch and you see
Yeah, the hole,
in the middle. So we have a capuchon covering the hole. Now this creates another problem. You can't take a picture of it. You see the brand of your camera. You see your face. you see whatever is behind you. It's like a mirror.
I can see myself like this, yeah.
You can see yourself. You
horrible.
can see. But these hands are really the centerpiece. And earlier on, I was telling you, Marco, Nicola worked at the Patek Museum and he was recreating movement components.
Yeah.
What we try to do is to have a hand that's not a hand. It's actually like a movement component. It's really starting from a block of steel, carved, polished, and it goes to this shape that's pretty unique. I
Yeah,
think.
beautiful. And then the case, because for anybody who tried your watch on, it's a heavy watch, huh?
It's a heavy watch.
You know?
Yes.
And I see some nice stamping on the side here. Tell us, the magic behind the weight.
So the magic behind the weight, the case is solid platinum, PT950. And the reason for it is we wanted to create a watch that's the utmost luxurious experience when you wear it, but without attracting unnecessary attention, you know.
Yeah.
I think we are beyond the point where we want to just flash and, you know, brag about the watch. There's plenty of watches that do it very well. With Mermont, we wanted to have modest dimensions, so 38 by 9.2, so it fits every wrist. But the case in platinum gives you this unique shine of platinum that makes the dial pop when you know it, but if you don't know it, it could be steel.
Exactly.
But of course, you immediately feel it when you wear it because the case and the buckle are platinum, so the watch is pretty heavy. But that's a watch to wear when you want to slow the flow of time. You want to enjoy your, let's call it, precious moments. So you need a precious metal case for that.
And it's nice because when I was wearing the watch, I felt good with it. And then when I tried on like a titanium watch, that watch felt a bit cheap, you know?
Yeah.
Although it was mechanically very different to yours. So I got used to platinum very quickly. Yeah. It's not a good thing.
But you know, each watch has its own use. I would love a titanium watch for sport or for performance.
True.
But if you just want to have a good time, relax, you know, do whatever activity you like, and you want to feel your watch, platinum is fantastic. But don't forget that the case back is not platinum. The case back is tantalum, and there's a few reasons for that. Tantalum is the most skin-friendly material, so to wear on your wrist is absolutely amazing. And as you can see, it's a screwed case back, of course, inspired with a very vintage shape. You know, this, we looked at early mid-20, mid-30 Calatrava, we looked at some vintage Vacheron, but we wanted to say, hey, you know what, let's do a very vintage-looking case back in the most futuristic material we could find. And I think tantalum is one
good contrast,
of the futuristic material. You say contrast?
Yeah.
We like to play with contrast at Mermont, so you have vintage-looking case back in modern material. You have a time display that's only maybe plus minus 3 minutes per hour.
Yeah.
But the movement is finally regulated by Nicola at 3 seconds per day. It's all about the contrast, playing with inspiration from different time periods. We have a concave bezel, again, very mid-20, mid-30. We have core-horn lugs, slightly modern takes on core-horn lugs. We have an oversized crown, again, reference to vintage pieces. But maybe you will agree with me that the result doesn't look vintage. We're not
No.
trying to recreate a vintage watch. We wanted to do a very contemporary recipe using traditional ingredients. So if you're a watch lover, you will look at it, you will, oh, I see where these bits come from. I see the inspiration of these bits, you know.
Yeah, there's many elements, yeah.
But again, not trying to recreate something that would have existed 50 years ago in a catalog, you know. We have the screws on the side just to give this modern, slightly modern twist. But we try to invent our own design language. Again, you will recognize the Breguet numerals, of course. But that's working a lot on the proportions. We have a large dial with a modest case, so it works on big guy, it works on tiny wrist. I think it's, yeah.
Are the lugs screwed in, or are they part of the mid case?
No, they're part of the mid case.
Nice. But yet you have some finishing on the corners, huh?
Yes.
Which is difficult to get in between there.
Yes. Behind the case back is a movement, and the movement is the only off-the-shelf component in the watch. And we chose reliability and serviceability. So, you know, when you launch your brand, you could really go either the fake manufacture route, where I could tell you that I've done a manufacture movement, and
Yeah.
there's no point, you know, but there are plenty of suppliers who will propose you a manufacture movement.
Yeah.
What we decided to do is use something that's proven, use something that will be absolutely no hassle for years to come, and that's a La Joux-Perret. It's what they call the D101, which is actually the La Joux-Perret version of the Peseux 7001, historical movement. Thin layout, so you can actually keep the watch around 9 millimeter. We use the highest grade from La Joux-Perret with, you know, anglage, Côte de Genève, blued screws and everything.
You combined all the elements of, you know, with a great movement, great case, a lot of attention to detail. You told me as well behind the closed doors who made the hand. And it's remarkable because to be in that category, and again at this price point, I think it's just nice of you.
You did not say the price.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. Tell us, what's the price point? And are any available at all?
So the price for the launch edition, the blue dial, is 10,998 Swiss francs, excluding tax, duties, and transport. And the reason for this price, of course, that's a launch edition. We might not keep the price at this level forever. But the idea is that's a watch you wear to relax, to enjoy the moment. You probably, it's all relative. It's a lot of money, right? But you probably don't want to have 50K or 100K just to walk your dog in the forest or play with your kids.
Yeah.
We're keeping the price as close as possible to 10 or at least south of 15 was a key part of the brief, and that's also why we chose this movement, to really give you what I was saying earlier, a taste of independent watchmaking that you see on the dial, that you see on the hands, that you see on the case material, without the full price of independent watchmaking, because there's so many fantastic watches at 30K plus. Our intent is not to compete with this guy, you know. And that's why we try to find a mix of ingredients that would fit with this brief.
The shape is incredible. Like you say, it's a matter of taste, but from wearing one for a week, I liked it because it's big enough so you can see it quickly, but also it's thin enough to appreciate the craftsmanship behind it.
And if you see, the tip is actually going back up, it's not bent, it's carved like that on two sides. And the whole idea was to create as many light reflections as possible. So there's no straight line. Even the side of the hand is concave to echo the bezel, then the tip goes back up. The inside is hollowed and is polished on the inside. And the whole point was, whatever angle you look at it, there will always be some light eating straight into it and giving you this nice.
I mean, I see my reflection in the hand, which is nuts. What's the future for you? What do you want to do after this?
So the idea for us is to stay at around 50 watches per year max. 50 watches allows us to really keep a personal contact with the collectors.
Yeah.
Because everybody who bought a Mermont, and it's amazing because so far we've seen very senior, experienced collectors actually reach out to get one. We've seen more junior persons, you know, starting a bit more their collector journey. But everybody who is getting a Mermont had a direct connection with us. And you were asking me, do we still have any available? We have a few of the blue still available for delivery in October.
Nice.
The first batch And that's maybe a scoop. The first batch will be delivered in the next 10 days.
Yeah.
So Nicolas is busy as we speak, finishing,
Awesome.
all the finishing, assembly, everything. But the first customer who ordered their watch back when we met in January
Yeah.
will get their watches in the next 10 days. Then we will deliver, as Nicolas finishes the second and the third batch.
Awesome. Sebastien, pleasure like always. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much
Marco.
for stopping by.
Thank you.
And first of all, congratulations on your success so far. I know it must be surreal, like going from an idea concept and to, like you said, by the time this video goes live, delivering the first pieces. So congrats to all the first supporters. Again, check out the website, link in the description below to get your piece. Like he said, there's a few available, but you never know. With my videos, sometimes things go crazy, so try to be as quick as possible. He's a nice guy to talk to, so don't be afraid to reach out. Again, thank you so much for coming. Guys, like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.